Teaching English is not only about grammar, literature, or vocabulary. It is also about inspiring students to communicate effectively, think critically, and develop a lifelong love for learning. English teachers play an important role in shaping the way students express themselves and understand the world through language. Because of this, schools and institutions place great importance on hiring teachers who are not just knowledgeable, but also engaging, adaptable, and empathetic. When interviewing for an English teaching position, candidates can expect a mix of subject-specific questions, classroom management scenarios, and general teaching philosophy discussions. Employers want to know whether you can maintain discipline, encourage creativity, and adjust lessons to fit different learning levels. In this guide, we'll explore common interview questions for English teachers with structured answers and helpful tips. The role of an English teacher. An English teacher is responsible for teaching students reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills, along with literature and critical analysis. The role requires patience, adaptability, and strong communication skills. Beyond academics, English teachers also motivate students, encourage participation, and cultivate confidence in self-expression. Schools seek educators who are dedicated to student success and capable of fostering a supportive learning environment. Question 1. Can you tell us about yourself? Here's how you can answer. I am an English teacher with a strong passion for helping students build confidence in language and communication. I hold a degree in English and teaching certification, and I have experience working with students of different ages and backgrounds. I enjoy creating lessons that are interactive and engaging because I believe learning English should feel practical and enjoyable. My goal is to inspire students not just to pass exams, but to truly enjoy using the language. Tip: highlight your teaching background, passion for language, and commitment to student growth. Question 2. Why do you want to be an English teacher? Here's how you can answer. I want to be an English teacher because I believe language is a powerful tool that shapes the way we connect with others and express our ideas. Teaching English allows me to help students develop critical communication skills that will serve them throughout their lives. I also love literature and find it rewarding to share stories that broaden students' perspectives. Tip: show enthusiasm for both language and the impact of teaching. Question 3. How do you make English lessons engaging for students? Here's how you can answer. I make English lessons engaging by using a variety of methods such as group discussions, storytelling, role-play activities, and multimedia resources. For example, I might use film clips to explain themes or encourage students to write creative pieces based on real-life scenarios. By making lessons interactive and connecting them to students' experiences, I help them see the relevance of English in their everyday lives. Tip: stress creativity, adaptability, and student-centered approaches. Question 4. How do you handle classroom discipline? Here's how you can answer. I believe classroom discipline starts with setting clear expectations from the beginning. I create an environment of respect by modeling good behavior myself and being consistent with rules. If a student misbehaves, I address it calmly and privately whenever possible, focusing on the behavior rather than the individual. I find that building positive relationships with students reduces disciplinary issues significantly. Tip: show that you balance authority with empathy. Question 5. How do you adapt your teaching for students with different learning abilities? Here's how you can answer. I adapt my teaching by using differentiated instruction. For example, I might provide additional visual aids and simplified texts for students who need extra support, while offering challenging assignments for advanced learners. Group work also allows students to learn from each other. By varying teaching strategies, I make sure all students stay engaged and can learn at their own pace. Tip: highlight inclusivity, patience, and flexibility in teaching methods. Question 6. Can you describe a successful lesson you taught? Here's how you can answer. One of my most successful lessons involved teaching Shakespeare to high school students. Instead of only reading the play, I had students act out scenes in small groups. This not only improved their understanding of the text, but also made the lesson more enjoyable. Students who were initially uninterested became excited to participate, and the performance approach sparked deeper discussions about the themes. Tip: use real examples to show creativity and effectiveness. Question 7. How do you encourage reluctant or shy students to participate in class? Here's how you can answer. I encourage shy students by creating a supportive environment where they feel safe to speak. I start with small activities like pair discussions before moving to group presentations. I also acknowledge their efforts positively, which builds their confidence. Over time, these students often become more willing to share in larger discussions. Tip: show sensitivity, patience, and strategies for student engagement. Question 8. How do you incorporate technology into your English lessons? Here's how you can answer. I use technology to make lessons more interactive and accessible. For example, I might use online quizzes, digital storytelling tools, or video conferencing for speaking practice. Technology also helps me connect lessons to real-world contexts, such as analyzing media or writing blogs. It's a useful way to engage digital native students. Tip: demonstrate modern teaching practices and openness to innovation. Question 9. How do you assess student progress in English? Here's how you can answer. I assess progress through a mix of formal and informal methods. I use quizzes and tests to measure grammar and vocabulary, but I also evaluate writing assignments, class participation, and presentations. I believe feedback is key, so I provide constructive comments that help students understand their strengths and areas for improvement. Tip: emphasize fairness, consistency, and constructive feedback. Question 10. Why should we hire you as an English teacher? Here's how you can answer. You should hire me because I bring passion, creativity, and experience to the classroom. I am committed to helping students improve not only their English skills, but also their confidence and love for learning. My teaching style is interactive and adaptable, and I work hard to create a supportive classroom environment where every student can succeed. I believe these qualities align well with the values of your school. Tip: summarize your strengths and align them with the school's mission. Additional questions you may encounter. How would you handle a parent who is concerned about their child's performance? What strategies do you use to teach grammar effectively? How do you integrate literature and creative writing in lessons? How do you motivate students who are not interested in English? What role do you think English teachers play in developing life skills? These questions test both your subject knowledge and your philosophy of teaching. Final thoughts. English teacher interviews assess not only your knowledge of language and literature, but also your ability to inspire, manage, and support students. Successful candidates are those who can balance creativity with discipline, use innovative teaching methods, and create a welcoming environment for learners of all levels. Preparation is key. Review your subject knowledge, think about examples from your teaching experience, and practice explaining your teaching philosophy clearly. Schools want teachers who are passionate, flexible, and genuinely invested in student success. Above all, remember that teaching English is about empowering students to express themselves and connect with the world through language. If you demonstrate enthusiasm, patience, and professionalism during your interview, you'll show that you're ready to make a meaningful impact as an English teacher.